Peter.
A perfect example of a woman that came to me several years ago with no brand was a woman by the name of Ann Perlman. And she was writing a memoir with her brother, who was a famous tattoo artist that I wanted to represent, and we decided that, or he decided he didn't want to be famous. He didn't want to build a platform. So I said, Ann, what else are you writing? She said, well, I want to write a novel called The Christmas Cookie Club. And I said, have you ever written a novel before? She said, no. Well, I love Christmas cookies, and I was sold right away because Christmas comes around every year. I have eaten my fair share of every kind of Christmas cookie in the universe. So lo and behold, she commenced writing her book, and I write about this in my own book, Author Screenwriter, which I'd be happy to give to all of you, and we can give you a link. Maybe somebody in your organization, Steve, can help me, and we'll just send you a password, and you have my book, and there's a story in it. And lo and behold, I was so smitten with this idea that I got over $1 million advance for her first 2 novels. I sold the movie rights for $1 million, was an option. Unfortunately, the movie wasn't made. Hollywood development hell. But Ann is building a tremendous fan base. And I'm so proud of her because here she was, a 65-year-old woman that never wrote a novel. She met me, was writing a memoir with her brother, who I'll never forget. He did me such a favor by telling me he didn't want to be famous because his sister is famous. And I remember the first offer was $150,000 for 2 books for world rights, and the editor was holding a gun to my head saying, well, it's Friday, I'd like to close this deal before the weekend. I said, wait a minute, I have it with a few other publishers. So by the following Wednesday, I turned New York upside down and Hollywood. So the power of the idea can be more important than the platform. But in this new world of publishing, which we're going through so many changes, is a well-oiled social media machine, has many components. So it has to be working on so many levels. So it's kind of like analogous with a 12-cylinder fuel-injected engine. So your social media platform is a 12-cylinder fuel-injected engine. Facebook, Twitter, blogs, website, notoriety, i.e. endorsements from famous people, introduction, preface, forward, prologue. So when it comes to somebody like me, who's going to go out and represent you in this new world of publishing, I want to have a really well-oiled machine, but the foundation of what you're doing is the quality of your writing. And the sad thing about this new world of publishing, which I loathe, my oldest brother was a world-renowned art dealer, and he only dealt in fine painting, and he didn't deal in lithographs or prints. And I'll never forget, I introduced him to Peter Max, who is now my client. I'm going to be selling Peter all around the world. He's one of the most famous contemporary artists in the world. I spent 4.5 hours with him yesterday. We closed our deal. I've only known him for 30 years. The sad thing is marketing is perhaps becoming a little bit more important than the art. And that disturbs me. So you all have talent. I celebrate your talent. And I hope you all get published and get produced, but be aware of the value of social media in your world. You need it.
All right, great. And we're going to wrap up in just a minute, but does somebody have a burning point?